In this video, we are going to learn about statements and expressions and the difference between them, and also solve some exercises. So in Rust, a statement is a piece of code that doesn't return a value, but an expression returns a value. So this particular line of code is a statement because it doesn't return a value. It just initializes x with the value 5. Now an expression, as I said, returns a value. So you can see this whole piece of code is an expression because it evaluates some value and then returns it. And similarly, you would find that these are also expressions because they are going to get evaluated. For example, if x is 5, this is going to be 25, and this 25 is going to be stored in x squared variable. Now let's run the exercise and see if there is any error. Well, now you see x is 5 and y is 155, but z is coming to be empty, a unit type. So but in reality, what should happen is it should be 10. So the problem here is that this is not returning this particular value. So now this has become an expression, as they also say that the semicolon suppresses this expression. Now if we try to run this program, this should give the value correctly. Yes. The next exercise, let's run it and see, and then we will look at the code, see what the error is first. It's saying that expected unit type, but it has found an integer. Now let's look at the code. We are creating a variable v, and then we are creating an expression and returning a value to v. We are creating a mutable variable x and incrementing it by 2. So what should be returned is 3, but we are getting unit type. Now whenever you have this kind of error, it is always the case that we may be expecting that it is returning some integer, but in reality it may not be returning an integer. What this is doing is adding 2 to x. So in reality, what is actually getting returned is this. So in order to fix this, what we can do is revert this firstly, and then we can return x like this. So if we now run this program, this is going to print success. So it's saying that we have not added a semicolon. Now it should work fine. Let's move on to the next exercise. This is obviously going to fail. I am pretty sure you may see an error. Now, of course, you may have seen this and you would have realized it's not something that is usual. So again, similar to this particular program, what is happening here is that 3 is getting stored in x, and then what is actually being stored in v is not 3. It's actually this empty. But let us say that you want v to have 3 in that. So what we can do is, again, turn this into an expression. The way we turn it is by making it go inside in a curly braces. And here we can say that we are returning x. Now this in itself is also an expression, and that is the reason it is going to be evaluated to x itself. Of course, I always forget semicolons. Now if you run this program, this is going to print success. This is an important exercise. There is a very important thing that I'm going to tell you. This function definition is in itself a statement. Now you would say there is a return statement. Why it is not an expression? The reason is that this function in itself doesn't do anything. But the moment you call it, this function call is an expression, because this is what is going to run this and return a value. Let's run this program. There was no error in this program because they only wanted you to see that a function call can also be an expression. In the next video, we are going to solve some exercises related to functions. So see you soon.